Hello and welcome to another chess video, playing my fourth game against GrandmastaGus. Um, so all of our wins have been as white. I won as white, then he won as white, then I won as white. So he probably wants another win to return the favor. And I want to get the first win as black in this game. I also especially want to win because I'm about to cross that 2,000 threshold again on chess.com. So I need those 3 points to break 2,000. The rating difference is deceiving because we're pretty much even in USCF ratings. So it's not like he's 200 points lower than me, even though that's what it looks like. So I played the knight c6 variation. What is it called again? The Guimard variation? Sounds like a French name. Guimard. There's a better way to pronounce it. But it's a nice offbeat line, which I've studied it for a little bit, and I can't find like a way for white to just blow it out of the water. So it's very playable. The GMs don't really play it. Well, the reason why it's weird is because your pawn break is usually with c5 in the French defense, so you want to push this pawn. So it looks like you're cramping yourself with knight c6. You're putting the knight in front of the pawn. But let me think for a second. Yeah, but as compensation, you get a lot of piece play. You get your pieces developed very quickly, and pressure on this e5 pawn. So this is still the opening. I think c3. This move was a little bit unusual, or rather, just like unnecessary, I guess. He wants to develop his bishop to b5. But I think for right now he has to take, and then I take with the queen, which is another weird move. So if people haven't really studied the sideline, I noticed that it could like throw people off, especially in blitz. I love playing this in tournament games. You usually get some time on the clock because people are, if they've never seen this before, you're just like making really unnatural moves. And that's kind of what I like about it. It probably wouldn't work against like titled players. But I have been playing this as a response to the Tarrasch variation of the French. Because, like I said, these moves look very unnatural. Okay, so he takes, and then you take with the queen instead of the knight as usual. Now I'm going to play bishop d6, and the whole point of this variation is to get e5 in, that freeing move. And then this bishop will be able to be activated. Okay, so continuing. Okay, so bishop d3, like I said, is not the best square for the bishop. In this line, unlike most French lines, you do want the bishop to develop to the b5 square. So I do think that that's an inaccuracy already. If I castle, there's no bishop takes h7 ideas, but this is something you always have to look at. That's called the Greek gift sacrifice, and when it works, it's very painful for the opposing side. So now I think I can just get my e5 push in. He's not really stopping it. So let's think. e5, yeah, let's just roll on through here. And I believe that once black gets e5, black equalizes. He must take because the threat is e4 forking his pieces. So he's forced to take. He's obliged to take here. And then after a lot of trades, actually this bishop will be embarrassed. You'll see. If takes, knight takes, knight takes. Oh wait, one sec. He can't even take with the knight because f2 hangs. What I'm saying is if takes, knight takes, he can't take on e5 if he takes here at the end. At the end of all of it, I have queen takes f2. So he might be in trouble. Instead of rook e1, he should have played like knight b3. This is a more normal approach. Knight b3, freeing the bishop, and bishop comes to g5. Sorry, I'm still a little bit sick after like a week. The way he's played it, the knight's kind of still in the way of the bishop, while my pieces are kind of coming to life quickly. Pardon me. So I'm not sure why he's thinking, because he really does have to take. but it's helping me on the clock. And I did tell him that I need to start playing quicker against him. Okay. I completely missed this move. Queen b3. Very interesting. Now, I could play... I know very, very often you can sacrifice a d5 pawn. I could just play king h8. And if queen takes, let's think about it. I don't really see the compensation. Queen takes... What other kinds of moves would make sense? I could play knight b6. That's if I really want to hold on to the pawn. Knight b6, a4, I could just play a5 and kind of holding. b6. Knight b6 looks okay. Is his queen misplaced there? Ah, the other idea. That's very clever. Knight b6, he has knight e4, forking my queen and my bishop. b6, e4. Yeah, that's nice. But queen b3 is usually not played, so there must be a reason, I think. There has to be a reason why this is like a mistake or something. Just because I've never actually seen queen b3 played. So let's think. What about just king h8? Takes here, king h8, queen takes the pawn. Knight b6. Queen, he could play queen d5. Queen d5. It's a little bit troubling, all this stuff. Am I in trouble? So, not sure about that. Not sure about that. Do I have any other candidate moves? Any other moves? I could just play queen f7 as well. Queen f7 would actually protect the pawn and unpin. Yeah, queen f7 is interesting. It looks interesting. Queen f7, he doesn't have knight g5 because I take this with check. That's important. Check, and then I win the rook, and the game's over. That's actually just like checkmate. So, queen f7 looks like a good solution. Let's think. Queen f7 and the threat remains of e4. So I am just going to play that. And hopefully I don't get killed. So queen f7 also got out of the way of knight e4. That was really what was annoying. So hoping that queen f7 was a good move. Oh man. Totally missed bishop takes h7. I can't take that because knight g5 would win the queen. So that was sort of ugly on my part. So I can hope for like knight takes e5 or knight g4. I can hope that he blunders away the game. But that was well played by Gus. Well played. I don't think that pawn is everything, but I definitely should have accounted for that, at least, as an unintended sacrifice, you might say. I do think that it's still not so easy for him. e4 is threatened. e4 is a huge threat. Maybe this still works out for me, but you really can't just let like bishop takes h7 happen and like think that it's okay. I still kind of like my position, but let's see what he does. I am threatening e4, and then I also eventually want to play g6 to trap that bishop. So he does have some problems he has to figure out. Bishop takes h7 was good, but I'm not sure how deeply he calculated it. It might be one of those like really weird instances where I just get lucky. Where you know the computer says, "Oh, bishop takes h7, blunder." So I hope it's one of those cases. The thing is, my development seems to be very good. If I can somehow get 2 moves, and just like if I had this knight already out, and just bring my bishop out to e6 or g4 or something, then I would just be like really good. I'm trying to find the best ways to just activate all my pieces. Okay, he might sacrifice for 3 pawns. Then it will be very unclear. So he might be thinking of e4, knight takes e4, pawn takes e4, bishop takes e4. And then like I'm okay with that. Because after bishop takes h7 happens, you usually expect to lose the game. So I'm okay with that sort of stuff. Do I have anything better? Pawn takes d4 doesn't do anything. I'm looking at like queen f4 tricks to look at h2 because the bishop's on that line, but doesn't do anything in this position. Maybe eventually. No, knight f6. He has bishop g6. So I think I have to go for this. Let's not spend too much time. And he might just sack. So he gets 3 pawns for the piece. I kind of like my pieces, though. Kind of like my pieces. But 3 pawns are not very easy to deal with. So materially, it'll be quite even. But I need to play with very active piece play to justify having a piece for 3 pawns. Yes, he does this, and let me just see if there's any in-between move. I'm not going to waste too much time looking at that. Okay. Very interesting. Rook takes. Now I have knight f6. Knight f6. Forks the rook. No, the rook's coming to h4. Ooh. Ooh. The rook is coming to h4. That is not good news. That is not good news. Talking about active piece play. Rook h4, I completely missed this idea. Oh boy. Could play g6 now. So if he plays rook h4, I have at least king g7, and I think I'm trapping that bishop somehow. Yeah, g6 looks like an idea. I think it needs to play g6. Well, g6, rook h4, king g7, he has bishop h6 check. Bishop h6 check. Can I play king takes here? Is that suicide? He could take my rook. Oh my god, this is so messy. Why did I let this happen? g6. Okay, I need to also just not take forever to make my moves. I think g6 is forced almost. This stuff is like all forced. And then bishop h6 check. So material imbalance is definitely a factor in this game. Because I am a piece up, down a bunch of pawns. Now I'm going to lose the exchange, but gain a piece. It's very hard to count what is going on. So, yeah. I don't know why Gus does so well against me all the time. I don't like it. Stop playing well, Gus. Stop it. So, king takes h7, bishop takes rook, check. King back here. This is all easy to calculate because it's forced. And then bishop takes here, takes. He won the exchange. That's just not good for me. That's just not good. If I go to f6, if I want to play with fire, I'm probably going to get killed. Like, there must be a way. Maybe just like queen e4. Oh, and wait, he's winning the exchange anyway. So, let's play with fire. Oh my god, knight g5 check. What a game. What a game. Missed all the good things. Bishop takes h7 happened. Yeah, I think I'm pretty screwed at this point anyway. I don't think there's any other solution except for g6. Oh, of course, the computer's going to find some really tactical way to get out of it without weakening my position. But I couldn't find it. Yeah, this, I was pretty screwed anyway. I was thinking if I run up, there's got to be ways of just tightening the screw here. I mean, you could take the rook, but, like, you don't even have to. Well, let's take the rook. I mean, this is, of course, better than losing the queen. So, what would be a good line? Let's just take with the knight to protect everything. Then, I don't know, he could just bring this last piece into play, unless I'm missing something. Well, this hangs. Okay, maybe that's not so clear. But, okay, you don't even have to do this. Watch this, like, just develop another piece. You can't take, because, you can't take the bishop because bishop g5 check would win the queen. And then the next plan is just, like, really crude idea of queen here, and then maybe even just rook check and checkmate. So, yeah, there's too many pieces around the black king. Thank you for watching.